YouTube world. This is Cherished Relics Boutique. Curry coming to you today. Really, I have a whole stash of beautiful, gorgeous, classic J. Crew jewelry, which is so well made that I'm just going to, show you all my J. Crew jewelry before I go and list it, which is what's going to happen this week. So on my eBay page, that is. So, welcome in. This is pretty much just it's not a haul because I've had a lot of this a long time, but I'm going to just be showing all these beautiful pieces and then calling it a night. So thanks for coming. If this is your first time here, my name is Curry, and I do part-time sales on eBay under the same name, Cherished Relics Boutique, right here. And then I also do sales here through my YouTube channel for people who reach out and decide to do private sale, as well as some live sales on district.net. So a couple places you'll find me. I also have a YouTube channel, which you are currently watching. So if you're new to my channel or somebody who thinks they might like content of jewelry hauls and unjarrings and all that sort of thing, consider following me. All of your likes and comments and follows are helpful for the channel. I've been edging right on 900 followers for a month. Wouldn't it be neat if I could get a whole bunch of follows and actually go above 900 or even get to 1,000 for that matter? I've been, I can't make the magic happen myself. So so I'm just going to be showing you the beautiful things. J. Crew, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, is some of it is considered a vintage brand, but it's also currently made. The quality of their jewelry is just, you can't compare. I just love their jewelry. They're heavy, they're well made, and I will be showing you some of those construction things as we look today, as well as the common hang tags and even things like clasps that are very recognizable for J. Crew. Now, J. Crew as a jewelry brand reminds me also of Stella & Dot, that has sort of that same quality, Banana Republic. I would have to say J. Crew is one of my favorites. So, yeah. So with that being said, if there's anything that I show tonight, I'm not going to be giving prices or putting numbers out there or anything like that. I'm just going to show you the jewelry. But if I come across something that you love and you can't live without, and you're interested in doing a private sale with me for that item, which I do sales through my YouTube videos, then I'm going to put my email up here on the screen. You'll want to email me at cherishedrelicsboutique@gmail.com. And then also I'm going to put the info up here on how to do a private sale. And you want to follow the info that you see up here. Basically what you'd need to do is give me a timestamp of what item you're asking about. So yeah, send that to me and in the information that you see that you saw up on the screen. So I have these beautiful pieces here that you see. But then I also have some larger necklaces here that I will be showing you. So, yeah, welcome in and let's get started. So I guess I'll just start off with a gorgeous, stunning, heavy J. Crew bracelet here. It's got 2 strands. Now, this is a very typical example of a J. Crew hang tag. A lot of their jewelry is in brass or gold tone. A lot of this heavier brass. And so it's not uncommon. It actually, you should see it on every item. If it's earrings, you might see it on the back of the earrings. It won't be in hang tag on something like that, obviously. But this clasp is a very recognizable clasp that J. Crew uses on a lot of their pieces. Now, some of the clasps on J. Crew might be just like this, but bigger, depending on the piece. But anyways, look at the beautiful 2-strand AB faceted bracelet there. And it is looks like it's sitting right at about a 7.5 when you're considering both of the bracelets. And let me take it off a little bit so you can just kind of see what it looks like over my wrist. So there you go. Very, very pretty. Love it. Okay, and I'm just going to put it back where I got it so that I know what I've already covered. Okay, so now we have a multi-strand, faux pearl necklace. There's that typical clasp as well as the hang tag. This is a longer necklace. It's one strand all the way until you get down, I don't know, probably halfway through the chain, it becomes 2-strand. So let me put it up here on the neck, and then you can get an idea of what it's looking like. I'm going to have to shorten it there because it's too long. Now, obviously, you probably wouldn't have it pulled around the neck like that, but you get the idea. Oh, well, there it goes. So, very nice necklace. And the shortest of the strands, not counting the extension, is probably about 28 to 30 inches. I didn't do an exact job, but there you go. Okay. Very simple bangle. Got a little bit of animal print going on there. Got your marks for J. Crew right there in the center. And I don't typically wear bangles. They don't fit me well. They're usually too big. But this one's looking at right about 7.5. They're just usually too big and, knock around and, not really my favorite. But I know they are somebody's favorite. So there you have that. A very pretty sort of pave styled starfish pendant necklace. On the back there you can see the marks for J. Crew. It's on a long kind of oval link chain, and it actually has a lobster claw clasp. This is not gold or anything. It's not marked with gold, but that's a 24-inch chain on that cute little pendant necklace. All right. You see, this is what I mean about things just being so well made. I mean, look at the construction of the back of this. And for that matter, I didn't even really show you the construction of the back of this one. Okay. It's just so well made. And in this case, these are actually prong set. They're not glued in. It's beautiful jewelry. That's not the case with all jewelry by J. Crew. This is an example of one that's made to look prong set, if you look closely, but it actually is just a glued in piece of faceted, that is an acrylic, stone there. And that, I like the color of it. Looks like it's about 6.5 inches. So there we go. Okay, another lovely bracelet. This is a hinged, see if I can get it undone. Got your marks for J. Crew right there. Just simple gold tone. Hasn't lost any gold, tone at all, though. And it's just short of 7 inches. Heavier. Very well made. Loving J. Crew. Okay. All right. Well, these are acrylic stones. Not uncommon for some J. Crew necklaces. Just black. And we've got these little clusters here. And you can see how the back is constructed. Very, very well made. Very common way that J. Crew does their extender, but here's an example where they didn't actually do that same clasp. Without the extender, we're looking right at about 18 inches. And so that's a pretty standard kind of go with everything necklace style there, So there you go. I'm going to have to zoom back out to show that. Okay. Thank you for looking at that. I've got a very simple, this is literally just a chain, a J. Crew chain, again, having a lobster claw clasp. There are no marks on it. I've already looked, and you know, if it was truly, you know, gold, it would not be magnetic, but, well, it's not showing it as magnetic, but it's not. It is gold tone. And a very simple chain. You could add anything to. It's about 28 inches for that. Okay. Now this is a super unique necklace by J. Crew. Look at all these fun acorns on here. I love it. And they're on there, these got these textured linked chains, but they're not on there symmetrically. You know, you've got a space and then a couple and then a bigger space and several together. That's just how they designed it. You know? Let's see, let's get it back up. So there's a bigger clasp there, like the ones I told you that they make. We've got your mark for J. Crew right there. And, I mean, if there's a fall necklace, this has got to be it. Because, wow, right? And again, all of those are not symmetrical. These are wood and then some little textured pieces that help make those up. But I think that's pretty special. I've definitely never seen a J. Crew necklace like that. A lot of the ones that I see are ones more like what I'm about to show you here upcoming. So, all right, another example, excellent example of the beautiful construction of a lot of J. Crew jewelry. Now, this is all glass. I'm going to show you here. Let me get a piece that's further away. You can hear that sound. Definitely is glass, definitely is cold. And, you know, they're known for making statement necklaces. So let's show you that, shall we? Just going to put it up here on the neck. Now, right now, it is extended longer, but I'm going to shorten it for you. All right. Very J. Crew for sure. You can see that. And you can also see the construction. Love it. Brass, you know, chains, pretty typical of J. Crew. And I'm going to actually lower this so this goes upright. Oh no. Hold on. I want to raise my thing so it's showing further down. Hold on one second. I just got to get something to raise my camera. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. I'm going to do one more. Hold on. Thank you for the patience. Okay. All right. So moving on. Isn't that beautiful? You know, the value of a lot of J. Crew necklaces is if you go and do some Google Lens searches. Let's just do a Google Lens search on that one. I haven't done it before on this one. I mean, I've done Google Lens searches plenty of times before, but I haven't done it on this particular necklace. Okay, so... So, for those of you who are new to jewelry, there's a great tool that you may not even realize you have that's already probably on your phone right now, and it's called Google Lens. And it doesn't have to just be used for reselling, but let me pull this down some. It's a visual tool that you can take pictures of something, and based on how they look, Google, you know, the Google Lens will go and try to, so if you go to your phone, and if you have the Google app on your phone, just click on it. And then on there, you'll see something that looks like a camera. Click on that, and then it'll say Google Lens, okay? And so this particular thing I'm taking a picture of, and then what it's going to do is it's going to do a visual search of what I find here and possibly give me some, you know, I wanted to be able to give you an example of the value of a lot of J. Crew jewelry is quite high. Well, let's click on that. Oh my God, just open already. Goodness gracious. So this person has it was listed at $148 and then they had it on sale for $58. And if buying a lot of J. Crew jewelry new, you'll know that those prices are quite, so this one's on Poshmark, I believe. I don't know if it's the same seller. Oh, they just pulled up a different necklace. But again, you can see the prices here. Very quality jewelry. Definitely valuable. All right, so thank you for looking at that, and we're going to keep plugging along here. Here's another beautiful one that has some of these beautiful glass stones in it. Look at those. Are they just phenomenal or what? And I want you to see the construction of the back. So all the light can sit there and shine through that. Now this particular necklace has a very thin chain on it. Usually J. Crew has a lot of thicker chains, but for whatever reason, the design of this, they wanted to make it thinner. Okay. But again, that's what we're looking at here. Is that not just stunning? And, you know, depending on how the light hits it, you know, definitely sparky. Now these are just clear glass stones or, you know, whatever. Some of their things that they use in their jewelry might have some AB coating, which is called Aurora Borealis, and it gives it a little bit of shine. This is an example of an Aurora Borealis. It's a clear stone that has an Aurora Borealis coating versus this is just a regular stone without foil on the back. So that's why you can see my finger through it. That doesn't have that on there. So it's just a different style of what people look for. You know, everyone has a different style. All right. So look at this. We got a little bit of movement here. That actually is like a gold rhinestone there that's prong set. You know, although this is most likely not a vintage piece, its style in which it's constructed is very vintage. This looks like a book chain clasp. I mean, book chain that they used here. So that's what that's looking like. Isn't that nice? Loving it, loving it. And, you know, all of those rhinestones in there, they are glass, and they are, in this case, they are prong set, not glued in. Sometimes they're glued in there. Okay, I'm going to this very next necklace, and here's an example of some of those clear rhinestones. But if we zoom in really close, you can see that those stones are actually glued in because the things that make them look like they're prong set, they don't actually go over the edge of the stone. It's just a visual thing. It's a visual thing that shows its quality. And this is quality vintage jewelry. Oh, and not vintage. But look, this has got these fun little cha-chas here. Yeah, this is a shorter necklace. You could extend it longer. But I love that. And I could sit there and look all these up for you and give you the value, but I'm not going to hold you up. I'm going to just get through all the beauties and then move on. But again, if you have any interest in, you know, talking further about any of these pieces, you just reach out. So this one is a very simple concept. It literally just has, come on, focus, clear AB that's just in one long strand. And it's on a long chain that's meant to be long because it doesn't actually have like an extender. It has got one length, and that's what it is. Now, as I put it up here on the thing, I'm going to actually double it just to shorten it so you can just see the stones a little bit better. But there you go. Let's focus that in for you. These are pretty big, you know. Probably, I'll even give you a millimeter size. I mean, they're not afraid to use, you know, large stones to make their statement necklaces. Yeah, that's about 9 millimeters for each of those. So isn't that pretty? Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get it the furthest out where I could not have to go up and down with the neck thing. And I suppose I could bring this forward and make the neck thing lower by going like this. And that might help. You just can't see the jewelry in front of you, but that's okay. All right. I'm going to move some of these around. All right. So now this one's lighter, and I will have to say, usually with a lot of J. Crew jewelry, they're often glass rhinestones, but I want to say that the ones in here, they're not cold. That I think that these are just some, you know, plastic, or you would just call them, you know, acrylic rhinestones. So that's got a significant kind of oval link chain there on sort of a matte gold color tone. Got some amber color stones there with some lilac. It's a nice color match. Definitely a beautiful fall necklace for sure. Okay. Now, some of these I got in a lot that I had won on shopgoodwill.com. For any of you that are resellers out there, you know that, it's, you know, where resellers get jewelry is varied, you know. I can get them from vintage stores or antique stores, or I could be at a garage sale or go to an estate sale, or, or I can buy them in auction. And so I not often, I don't do it as much as I used to, but I've definitely gone to shopgoodwill.com, which is a website, and they run a lot of jewelry auctions along with a lot of other products or whatever. But I also will like shop locally, and there's to where I live. I live here in Pittsburgh, and there's a lovely consignment store that their jewelry cycles through sales where eventually it goes on 75% off, 80% off, and even 90% off. And that's usually when I'll pick something up. Now look at this beautiful a bracelet that's just like pave links. Pave just means it's a whole bunch of rhinestones that are just kind of, glued down really, really close together. It's still a quality way of doing it. I suppose pave could still be considered pave if it was prong set super close together, but I think it's more often just glued down. But these are very large links. I would say each link, it's over an inch. Okay. So yeah, if I already have, let me give you an example in terms of value here. I've already looked up the value on this previously. So I'll show you that. I think the cheapest comp I found was around $55. Oh, I was wrong, $35. But there you go. Pave chunky chain link statement bracelet. So that's what we got going on there. Pretty cool. Sorry, I haven't been like measuring all the necklaces. I'm sure you guys will survive if I'm not measuring all the necklaces. If you do have something you want me to, you're interested in a sale on, of course, I can give you any information you need after you reach out to me. Again, you'd have to contact me through my email, which is cherishedrelicsboutique@gmail.com. Okay, so these are acrylic here. I think those cabochons, that's what those rounded stones are called. I think they're acrylic. It's going to give me a different sound than when they're, oh, no, they're definitely acrylic. And I also think those rhinestones are acrylic as well. They just don't feel cold and don't quite have the weight that you would expect them to. But my daughter's, I'm sorry, I am an August birthday. And so I always appreciate things that are kind of that peridot color. You know, light green sort of thing. So we got that. All right, this one, next one was definitely a super unique style here. It is like got a toggle clasp that attaches way down by where all the pendants hang. This is just acrylic. Okay, some little faceted, not faceted, but has rhinestones in there, and that little kind of multi-dimensional starburst there. And this chain is significant. It's not actual gold or anything, but this is a really long chain. Let's see, it's meant to be a longer layering piece. So we're looking at about 34 inches in all down to the pendant. Okay. So, and then of course you got your J. Crew marks right there. So, very interesting. There you have it. All right. I love these earrings. I bought them at that consignment store that I was just mentioning. J. Crew can have some really lovely, unique earrings. Okay. So we've got the kind of brassy gold tone, kind of matte color. These are glass. They are faceted, little glass kind of teardrop or, you know, I wouldn't consider it's not a flat stone that's teardrop. I guess this is more like a briolette or briolet. I don't know. There's a name for that kind of stone that attaches towards the top. But they're about 2 inches in length and just a really fun dangle earring kind of coming off that bar. And I think the reason that I know they're J. Crew is not because you can't actually see a mark on there, but when you do a Google Lens for them, that's what comes up. And you see lots of them that are on card and all that sort of thing. But I'm loving those earrings. Okay. Another pair of, you know, lovely J. Crew earrings. These are acrylic, but they're pretty shiny and facety. They have a great look about them. They have a way, they do a good job of having acrylic, you know, rhinestones, even though people think of rhinestones as, you know, glass, but acrylic thing that they use in their pieces that, you know, still give off a good shine for when they're wearing them. But those are fun. Another pair of earrings here. Very interesting color glass there. I think that's glass. Let me see. Yes, those are glass. It's an interesting kind of color of that glass. A little AB added detail there. And, you know, sometimes J. Crew has been known to make some jewelry with sort of this, you know, monotone. That means one color, kind of you see how the prongs are the same color as the plastic or whatever rhinestones that are put in there. There you go. And some of these are marked on the back. Like I know that those ball earrings that I showed you earlier, you could see J. Crew on the back. Oh, here you go. There's a mark right there. Okay. So you got those. All right. I think I have 2 of these. I should grab the other one after I show this one for any of those that are actually interested. But this is a lovely kind of statement necklace coming down in these, you know, alternating. It alternates where it's like shiny and then, I'm sorry, AB clear crystal, and then it does the color, and then it switches the color and it does crystal down here. It just alternates it. This is heavier. Let me show you the construction of the back. Very well done. Oh, and oh, those are intentional. Those are not hooked together on purpose because then when you put it on the neck, it spreads out as it should. So that's looking like that. Pretty cool, right? And another J. Crew one that's just the same, just different colors here. And again, it's got the alternating things going on there. Isn't that fun? So obviously you would never wear both. I'm just showing you both on the neck. If the thing will stay put. There you go. You get the idea. Woo, double J. Crew. No one would wear that much, but just wanted to show you. Okay. Put that away. I had recently done a live show that I had gotten all the stuff out for. And the stuff that I have here left, I've just decided I'm just going to go ahead and list it. I don't list all costume jewelry on my YouTube page. For those of you that follow me, I'm sorry, not my YouTube page, my eBay. My eBay store is the exact same name, Cherished Relics Boutique, but most of what I have on there is precious metals, you know, sterling silver, gold filled, gold items, as well as gemstones, precious and semi-precious gemstones. I do carry some costume jewelry, but usually it's branded or it's like antique or something significant in, you know, the resale world that I know sells. But, you know, a lot of other costume jewelry I don't list on there unless it's brand. But J. Crew is a very recognizable brand. And, sorry, I'm trying to turn these links so that when I put it on the neck, it shows all the lovelies. You want it to be turned all the same way. This is a very, very heavy necklace. This one is silver tone. We've got a very thick chain there. You can see your hang tag there. A different kind of clasp there, and their, you know, extender there. But, I mean, even at its shortest, this is a pretty long necklace. I'm going to lift it up higher so that you can see it. I can't get it to stay, nor can I let you see it because the thing's too low. But you get an idea of how it looks there. Definitely meant to be a statement piece. Okay. All right. I'm actually going to move this thing and bring in a new thing of, I've gone through all this. See, I'm only at 32 minutes. Yeah. No editing. You don't, if you have a YouTube channel, you understand the struggle. Editing just takes forever. And I'd rather just, you know, put it out there. That's why I don't put out as many videos as I should, because you end up spending, you know, half a day editing, when really what I want to do is just show you all the pretty jewelry. Okay, so a lot of these necklaces are more of like statement J. Crew necklaces. Statement meaning much bigger, okay? They're much bigger. Sorry, my drink stuck to my coaster. I mean, make it so it's not wet. Okay. All right, these aren't anything crazy fancy. These are a whole bunch of, you know, J. Crew glass pearl, actually ribbon necklaces where you tie it instead of it having like a, you know, a chain necklace. You do still have your hang tag there. And if you look really closely, all of these are actually hand knotted. And they are an example of a very nice glass pearl. And I know it's a glass pearl because, first of all, it gives me the sound of glass. But second of all, if these were light and not cold, well, then I knew that they just would have been a painted acrylic. But I also know that these are not real pearls, because real pearls, when you rub them together, will give you the ever slow, slight grittiness. And so these are just very smooth. So I know that's how we're able to identify that they are glass pearls, heavier, cold, but they don't have the grittiness. And so this is a really long, meant to be tied around with the thing. And I would say the pearl portion of this necklace is about 26 inches. And then obviously you can tie it wherever you want. And I think I have a couple of these to show you. There's this one, kind of more in a gray color. But then here's another one that's exactly the same length, everything, hang tag. Same, you know, hand knotted going on. Still glass pearls. Sorry. They are glass. They're heavy, they're cold. But this is more of like I would say like a champagne color about it. So yeah, very cool ribbon necklaces there. And then here's another kind of ribbon necklace that comes off of a, you know, sections where it has beads added. So that's towards the top of the necklace is that. Sorry, it's tied at the back. You see that? And then towards the top of the necklace, you've got this that feeds down to all of the pearls here. That I never like the look of this ribbon. Like, to me, I would just remove that stupid ribbon and just let these pearls just sit like alone, you know? Because I'm sure that the things in here are still gold. Fixings, that's the wrong word. Makes it sound like dinner time. Haha. Findings. Anyways, faux pearl necklaces by J. Crew. Okay. Let's keep going, shall we? All right. I'm going to put this one on this neck, smaller neck here, because I know that this one needs, I tried to replace the jump ring before I had started my sale the other day, but then I ran out of time. So I know that it needs a jump ring, but I can set it on this, you know, little neck here where you can't tell that one's a jump ring is in need there. So I want you to see the construction of the back. Again, high quality. These are glass stones as well as some acrylic colored stones that you see there. And all I need is to put a jump ring in right there, which I have right literally in here. I just haven't had time to do it yet, but I will. So pretty lovely. And I, you know, very spring colors. I love the lilac stones in there. Rhinestones. So you got that. Okay. And then here, we've got a center section and some side sections. These are as well glass. This is a heavier necklace, and I'm going to put it on the neck back here for you. It's very interesting. This is not the first time where I've seen these are gold. It's been rubbed off back at the neck, which makes sense because, you know, people's neck have lotions and sweat and whatever, I don't know. But I think that this literally at one point might have been a gold, but it just has been rubbed off. I can't imagine why they would mix gold and silver on the same necklace. That would be a little bit strange. But that's what it's looking like. Very statement, very typical J. Crew necklace. Again, I could probably Google Lens that, and I could probably take a guess. That might be listed for something like, I don't know. People can have lots of different listing prices out there. I'm always trying to find the least of the listing prices and offer you a high quality, clean, non-smoking home piece of jewelry that is you know, a fabulous deal for you. So, okay, so I'm going to do a screen. So here I am back on Google Lens. I'm going to take a picture of it. It's doing a visual search. And there you go, $45, which sounds about right. But then you have an 11. Now, I wonder if this is missing its hang tag. It may not be. Oh, it still has it. I definitely think it's worth more than 11. They may be charging a lot for shipping, which is my guess, because probably most of the other places where you're going to find it are not having it at such a cheap price. But anyways, so there you go. All right. Now this necklace I'm about to show you is absolutely stunning. It is so well made in every way possible. Definitely has a lot of value. You can see up here we have a 3-strand. It has some different kind of you know, chain types there. There's your hang tag. Shiny gold tone. A lot of times J. Crew is often this matte gold. But it comes down here to these are glass pearls here. These are glass little dangles. You see those? This is glass. Okay. High quality, beautiful layered necklace. It also has some of these little pave balls. Yep. So looking something like that. Now, obviously, this is longer than, I suppose I could stick this below there and give you an idea of how it hangs. But, so that's what you're looking at. It is not symmetrical. It's not meant to be symmetrical. Everything on each side's a little bit different. When I did do some Google Lens discovery on that one, there's something that I found. J. Crew Gold Tone Triple Strand Topaz Teardrop Glass White Faux Pearl. It is faux pearl. Those might be acrylic. So those are acrylic, but those are glass. I think it's extraordinary. My personal opinion. Very, very well made. I had to go turn the fan on. It's too hot for me under all these lights. Hopefully you won't hear it in the background too badly. Hope you're enjoying the J. Crew extravaganza. Okay. This is a very long, look at the details that J. Crew even, look at these literally have like texture on those little kind of links or whatever they use to putting the end to, these are all hand knotted, 4-strand. These are glass. Let's see. Hard for me to grab them because they're little. But they are glass. And they're all the same length. So it's a pretty heavy and significant necklace. So let me put this here on the neck. Now, it is way too long here that I can't show you. Now, no one would wear it like this, but I'm just doing it like that so that it'll hang. You get the idea. I think they're all the same length, but depending on how they're twisted around, they might be different. It's not really giving it very much justice, but it's a significant amount of faux pearls, glass pearls. A nice J. Crew piece for sure. Okay, I think I have 2 of these as well. This one actually still has a tag on it. This is very, very J. Crew in style. Okay, so again, all these beautiful rhinestones mixed with some acrylic stones. Now again, these are all glued in. You can tell because those prongs are just there visually to make it look like it's all, but let me show you close up. But the prongs don't go over the stone. They're just there kind of, you see that middle stone? The prongs would hang over them. Okay, they're all just glued in. But it's still very lovely. Here's the construction of the back. Okay. Whoops, sorry. That still has a tag on it. Doesn't have the actual price, but there you go. So spring. Love, love, love. This is so typical J. Crew. Very well made, gorgeous jewelry. Definitely tell me in the comments if you're a J. Crew fan in terms of their jewelry. You can tell me about some of your favorite pieces or what experiences you've had with how well J. Crew jewelry like wears. Now, every once in a while, some of these stones might pop out, but you can, glue them back in. It's not the end of the world. It's not something that you can't fix. This one is exactly the same, but in a cream color. Sorry. There you go. Okay. Giving you the same look. There you go. Very, very nice. Yeah. And those of you who are resellers, tell me if you've listed some J. Crew and how well your pieces have done selling online. I haven't listed, I have a ton of other things in brand name jewelry that are listed, but I haven't listed a lot of J. Crew, but I see it online. So I'm just curious how well that seems to sell. There's your hang tag. And then this is a really, really, you know, rhinestoned statement necklace. These are glass. Okay. In this particular case, this is an example where these are actually prong set. So if you can look really close, you see how the metal comes over the stone. It's actually holding it in. At least that's the case on these large ones. Yes, that's the case on those marquee. Now, some of these round ones, they just look glued in because you see how the little, quote, prongs, they just make them, they put them there to make them look like they're all prong set. But, you know, we've got two different types of, you know, the way that those are, you know, put together in the jewelry. But, you know, wow, that's statement necklace, right? You need a place to go. You know, it's certainly not something you wear to the movies. I don't know, it might be. Some people are very confident about wearing very statement necklaces. Me personally, I've always been pretty simple and dainty in my jewelry. Here, today's a perfect example. You know, again, I usually am not always wearing multiple bracelets. I just have multiple bracelets on because it's I'm doing a show. But I'm pretty dainty about my jewelry. I'm not like bold, big statement. But part of it is because, you know, it's kind of like, here's an example. You know how when you're a kid and, you know, your kids walking around in their mother's shoes or walking around in their mother's hat and you kind of feel like an imposter? Some people can carry themselves in a confidence that's like, yep, I'm wearing this and I'm this is what I'm, you know. And I just have always just been more simply stated. Anyways, that doesn't mean that I don't think this other jewelry is beautiful. Look at the construction of this, okay? You've got some bezel set rhinestones here that are faceted. Now, you're probably wondering, how are those looking shiny in there when they're closed back? Well, the reason for that is because these rhinestones have foil on the back of them that the light can come in and reflect off the back of the stone, and there's foil back there that is why it can still sparkle. Now, some of these others, this, for example, also has to be rhinestones that are foil backed, okay? This is what the foil backing looks like. For those of you that see it, this happens, you can see the back, but you see how those are foiled? So on the other side, even if this was covered up, it's still going to give you a shine, okay? Now, I want to tell you, a lot of jewelry that you have, if you have rhinestones in there that are foil backed, which a lot of vintage jewelry is folded back. Now, a lot of the jewelry I'm showing today isn't necessarily vintage. Now, these are also foil back even though they're open. So, you know, but these were clear all the way through. So obviously different styles. But when you're cleaning your jewelry, you do not want to immerse any sort of rhinestones that have foil backs into water. Because if it soaks in there long enough, especially with the really vintage jewelry, that foil backing will come off, and then that stone will lose its shine in what we call a dead stone. It'll start to look super dark, and it'll look different than the rest. So it's part of the care for the, you know, your nice jewelry, even costume jewelry. You have to care for it a certain way. That doesn't mean you can't clean it. I took a rag and just did the surface of these, but I'm not going to immerse this in water ever. Okay, I'm not going to take a shower in it. I'm not going to do the dishes in it probably, because over time it will cause it to be damaged. Okay, now obviously diamond rings, there's no foil on the back of the stone. The shine happens because it's hard for you to see. Let me take this off and show you. The light is able to go in and shine into the back of that stone, and that's what gives it its brilliance, okay? So it doesn't matter that gets wet. I take a shower in that all the time. I wear 2 different rings, but that's one of them. But just, I don't know why I'm giving you this lesson now. I'm going off on a little lesson, but just remember, foiled jewelry, you do not want to immerse in water. Okay. So this significant necklace, it gets its shine. Remember why? Can you remember? Because it's got the foil on the back, because it's certainly not getting light. Okay. This is a longer necklace. Very pretty. I'm really loving that. Okay. And what this is called is bezel set. That just means that the stone is set in and that there's metal around, you know. It's not prongs that are holding it in. Okay. All right. Now, although we're talking about costume jewelry, it still has settings that we can describe. All right. This is a pretty significant kind of bib necklace. Now, personally, all this ribbon doohickey stuff, I would just remove that. I just think it's ugly, especially if it's been used. I mean, I'm sorry. If the necklace has been loved and enjoyed over time, look at this is probably someone is probably cringing because they designed this to stay on there. But I think it's ugly. I think it holds dirtiness in it. I just don't like it. And it's just tied on there and sewn. Sorry, you're watching me actually remove this. It might take value away from the necklace, but I don't care. Because to me, this was so beat up and dirty that to me, that's just ugly. So instead, here we have a very nice leather cord that this bib necklace is on. This is called a bib necklace because it kind of hangs down like a baby's bib. Very cha-cha here. So you've got a lot of dangling rhinestones that are in little cup links, which are what you see these little, let me get you closer in. Get that hair out of there. But all these little rhinestones that are in these little, sometimes you can see cup links where they're attached together. But some of the other things in here are just, like briolette stones that are hung from there, still faceted. And then you have some bezel set stones. Okay. Probably glass pearls, I don't know. I think they're glass. But this is a very significant necklace. Now, personally, look, it's meant to be super long. That's like too long to me. Like, who would have a necklace going that long? I don't know. Maybe they have it going down into the shirt. But personally, I think it looks better shorter. Just my opinion. And it's not going to stay there because I just have the back of the thing holding it. But anyways. Cha-cha-y bib necklace. Probably decently valuable. Now, I know this hasn't had too much wear because look at what good condition this little leather cord is in. Coming up here to its hang tag. I'm sorry, not hang tag. There is the recognizable clasp, but the hang tag on this one was over here. Okay. All right, I only have a few more left. We've done well. I have one, two. I have 5 more necklaces to show you. I've done so well. I'm so impressed how quickly I've talked. I might actually finish under an hour in my unedited video. Woohoo! Okay, if I can get this to unhook. Look at that, something else. Now these are glass. They're cold, definitely. These are acrylic. And it's meant to give you sort of this dimensional look. You see how they're at different heights? So J. Crew does that a lot in their jewelry where they have things that come in. And this is, decently short. It's meant to be a statement necklace. I think it's pretty cool. Love it. That's probably pretty expensive. I haven't looked up a comp on it, but look at the construction of the back. It's so heavy and so well made. Let me let you see close up. Okay. Now, there's example of, these are like a smoky quartz in color. They are glass, but they're getting their light and sparkle because it's coming through the back where they're non-foil rhinestones. I keep having something attached to my nail. Okay, here's another cha-cha sort of bib necklace again. It's got a whole bunch of kind of champagne-y pink, you know, different sized glass pearls mixed in with a whole bunch of rhinestones. It's on a gunmetal. Again, some more of those ribbons. I just think they're ugly, but whatever. Whatever. Comes up to hang tag. You know, I mean, they do have gunmetal necklaces. Oh, look. Wow. This even has it on the chain, like different added details. This is so ugly. Tell me in the comments, don't you agree? Like, it just looks like it's part of how it came when you purchased it, and it still needs to be removed. I just don't get it. Sorry, I'm trying to raise this up a little for you. Not really my... And I'm also trying to turn these so that all the rhinestones are showing, because I'm about to lift this up higher for you. I personally think it should have an option to make it shorter, but I'm not going to be able to do that for you because it hangs that long. Anyways, so there's that one. I'm sure it has some value if I looked it up. Okay, wow, this next necklace is something else. Look at all of these. These are glass, you know, rhinestones, have you say, with definitely a sort of a smoky quartz color. They're all open back. The light is shining through. There's no AB coating on any of this. Let's see here. Sorry, I thought this was untangled. Apparently not. There we go. I'm gonna attach this so that we can appreciate what it looks like on the neck. So a much larger lobster claw clasp here. This is more of like an antiqued bronze kind of color of the metal chain there. But that is, like, I'm going to take a picture because I bet you that's worth, I bet you when people bought that new, it was probably over $100. I don't know, just my opinion. These are all glass. It is so heavy. I could probably weigh it to give you an example, but so real quick, let me use my Google Lens tool again. I'm not going to finish before an hour because we're at 58 minutes, but we're going to be close, okay? We're going to be close. Sorry, I'm going to Google Lens. I have to, when you're in a past search, you have to go exit backwards to get back to the beginning. If it never finally gets back to the picture, then just close it, you know, swipe it up and start over. Okay. So let's see. Wow. Now this has some other brands in here. I'm glad this happened because this is an example of where sometimes Google Lens will pull something up that looks pretty similar. Now that one looks like the same, but it's not J. Crew. But none of these say J. Crew. So what you can do when you do a visual search and it doesn't match is you can come up here and add to your search. And I'm just going to type in J. Crew. And we're going to get some more specific necklaces that look similar. And actually, it's not pulling one up that looks exactly the same. Pulls up a whole bunch of other J. Crew necklaces. But yeah, I bet you that one has got a lot of value if it's not even that common. It's stunning. Just my opinion, of course. Just stunning. Stunning. Look at that. They're all, you know, right now they're not like being very sparkly for you, but imagine that when they're moving in the light when you're wearing them. Okay? Love, love, love. Sorry if I'm making you nauseous. We're almost done here. Very nice necklace. Oh, I had more than 3 because I had a whole bunch of necklaces that were in the same space. Okay. So, a lot of times the way they have their links is they kind of get twisted around. You got to untwist it. Look, I noticed this one was missing a rhinestone. Now that's a simple fix for me. I have a lot of extra rhinestones that have come out of other jewelry that I've scrapped, and I just save extra, you know, rhinestones in like little small tubs that I can go and replace something like that. These are faceted glass. It's heavy, constructed very well, as you can see on the back. And so tell me, those of you that are new, if these are shiny and those are closed back, what's making them shine? Got to say it in the chat. Say it in the chat. It's not a chat. I'm not alive. Say it in the comments. I already did that lesson. Anyways, that's an easy fix. There's your thing there. You know, if I wore a J. Crew necklace, I'd probably be one that would wear one more this size. The other ones are a little bit too statement for me. Too much for my style. Here are 2 other necklaces that are very similar in size to that one. I think this one is actually exactly the same, but this has got colored stones. Again, these are glass. You hear them? Okay. Very, very nice. And I love the movement that it's allowed to have as you're wearing it on the neck. Beautiful fall colors. Very nice necklace. Okay. And then I have another one here. See, I've accumulated a lot of... Oh, I didn't finish my story about the Goodwill, big Goodwill lot that I had bid on. So I've won lots of Goodwill lots over the things. A lot of them that are mystery, and I don't always know what maybe 15, 20 pounds of jewelry. I don't actually know what I'm going to get. But this one particular lot, I would say half of this jewelry that I'm showing you here, probably half of it came from one single lot that I opened, and it had all this beautiful, I couldn't believe it because I know how valuable J. Crew jewelry is. Beautiful J. Crew jewelry. So I was so excited. So this has got sort of like a faux, what do you call that? Oh, there's a name for this. Why can't I remember it? Glasses are made from it. Someone tell me in the chat, in the comments. Tortoiseshell. It's called tortoiseshell. And it's probably a faux tortoiseshell. But that's pretty. What y'all think? Is there a favorite necklace that you've seen today? Or are there any of these that maybe you have at home? I don't know. All right. I think I have a couple little pearl necklaces left in here. Now these are acrylic. These are really, really light. These are glass, and they're actually prong set if you look really close there. Okay. I really love the chain on this particular necklace. It's a really cute little link. Okay. This is a longer necklace, meant to be a longer necklace. We've got all these kind of moving parts here. I think it's a lovely necklace. Just lighter. I think it's very pretty. Don't know what that little piece of junk is there. Trying to center it. You can see the perfectionist in me. Okay. I've got just a single strand of glass pearl necklace here. So it's just on a regular chain link. You consider this to be a station necklace. When you have like a chain where you move and then there's something and you go a little bit and there's another thing, you go a little bit, there's another thing. These are called station necklaces. These are in fact glass pearl. You can hear it. Sounds very different. This is a heavier necklace. And you know, this kind of thing is something you could probably, you know, double up even. Hold on, let me give you an example. Where you can sometimes wear, hold on. Where if someone likes to layer up pieces, you could do something like that, you know. I think that's cool. Okay. 2 pretty cool necklaces. And then the very last one I'm going to show you is another cha-cha necklace here. But this one's longer. On a long, brassy, kind of antiqued chain here. Here's your marks, and here's your clasp, very recognizable. A very unique chain style for sure. These are all acrylic. I know, because I know what acrylic ones sound like and feel like. But you call this cha-cha. You see how all of these are like attached with like these, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the, when you're making jewelry, the piece of jewelry that it's just a long thing with a thing on the end. There's a name of it. It's what you make earrings out of too. I know there's a name. But anyways, so there is that one, meant to be long, used for layering. But like, imagine someone wearing that and then also wearing something like this. And a lot of times, I'm sure, people might mix together some different styles for whatever outfit they're wearing. Okay. Oh, well, that's not a good example because that one's missing one of those rhinestones. We'll just kind of cover it up. But, you know, people mix them up and do, you know, do some different things. So anyways, that is all I wanted to show you guys. Lots of J. Crew jewelry. Excellent quality stuff. If you're not familiar with J. Crew jewelry, you can go look it up online, But anyways, like I mentioned earlier, if any of these are something that you're interested in, if any of you have ordered from me, you would know I offer an excellent prices for the jewelry that people purchase from me, especially when they're as private sales, because you know, I don't have any of the extra fees. I mean, I have the you know, shipping costs where I have to have, you know, packaging and all that sort of stuff. But I can offer a lower price when I'm doing it through a video like this. Because I just do a PayPal, you know, invoice and that sort of thing. So there you go. I hope you guys have enjoyed our little J. Crew extravaganza. I've loved having you guys. And there you go. That's all I have for you today. Be sure to go down and I think you can actually click the corner. If you're on a computer, I don't think on your phone you can, but there's a little icon there that it can take you right to where you can follow. Help me get to 900. Oh my God, even 1,000 for that matter, but I'm not asking for much. I'm asking for like 6 followers and it would get me up to 900. I know also at the very end of the video, there's a link to another video of mine on YouTube. I probably have 200 videos if you include all my live videos from live sales. But you can go back and rewatch some of those. But there's also a link when I you know, do my ending credit thing or whatever, that you can also join, follow the channel there as well. So it's Curry here with Cherished Relics Boutique signing off. And I hope you guys have a great night. Take care, everyone. Thanks for coming.